Hi everybody, my name's Gordon. I'm a member of the FPV UK forum, known on there as the G-Man. Makes me sound quite hip and young and cool, but really I'm not that cool and I'm not that hip. I'm 42 and starting to look my age. So here we go, review of the plane, less of me. So we start off, this is the Multipex Fox. It's a little chuck glider designed for children, I guess, or anyone with an interest of going to the park and just free flying a hand throw glider. Great little plane. Looked on the internet with them, discovered that people are actually turning these into RC planes and even FPV planes. I thought, well, I wouldn't mind some of that, so I'll give that a go. I've started off by taking my plane and sinking a small servo into the center of the wing. It's about a 3.5 gram servo. Nice simple mechanism, wires coming out, going straight, cut out some ailerons, put it on. Easy sort of little mech, no problems. Same with the elevator. Very standard, nothing special, just controlling the elevation. So nice simple mechanisms. I've taken some foam from the bottom of the elevator and stuck it on the top. This was a suggestion off of somebody. It starts helping the plane from flying a little bit level. Obviously these are a throw glider, so they're designed that way. We're trying to turn it into more of a powered plane. I've also, once mounted the motor, discovered that it needed a couple of washers underneath on this model to make it fly level. The motor itself is an AP05. And that's ran by a 7 amp ESC. Both of these were purchased from Robot Bird. Small little motor. It only cost, well, I say only, it's quite expensive really for the motor. It's a 5 gram motor, it cost me 20 quid. But they are very good power for the size and weight. Like I said, they're very, very light. I wasn't sure how much weight this thing would take when I was first making it because it was all experimental. But it works very well, and like I say, it gives you good flight times because it doesn't draw very many amps when it's flying. The motor stand itself is 3mm plywood, just a quick design on a computer, and we cut it out with a laser, or I cut it out with a laser. Does the job, holds it in a position nicely. Come down now to the front, we've got the FPV gear. The FPV itself, the video transmitter, is a 5.8 module. It's a great little thing, comes with a little whip aerial. I've built some clovers now because I've got 5 of these, and so I've got clovers on the other ones, which gives you a much better signal when you're banking and stuff. But like I said, this one here really was a test platform. Everything on it was testing, see how much weight it would take, see how it flew. And the idea was to build another one once I'd found out everything else. Got a little servo on the front. Again, just a small 3.5 gram one with a 1 to 2 gram camera on it. These cameras can be bought from Simon's shop at FPV UK. Great little cameras. There's other places you can buy them, obviously. Handle the light not too bad, very good resolution, pretty good at night. They can get a little bit dark when you go out into the sun and come back down into the ground. Takes a while, but as you can see from some of my videos, I've managed to pull off some pretty swift moves for such a nimble little plane. So it gives you enough light, enough image to get yourself out of trouble when you need to. We flip it over now on this particular model and see where I fit the battery. The battery itself is a 2-cell, 330 amp 2-cell. I've made it so it slides inside. This helps the CG, gets the CG right, it's all works very well. It's a nice tight fit, holds it in there. I won't bother connecting it up. But the actual RC itself is a Spectrum RC, because again it's very light. It's the AR 63000 little park receiver. Didn't expect to get very far on this, but I've actually been out to about 300 meters with this. Also with about 300 meters with the image. So 300 meters with this little plane is a dot. So it's well enough for this. You know, if you've got a spotter or anything else, they'd be struggling at that range to actually take over for you, so that's fine for this sort of size plane. Great little plane, great little platform, worked really well. Had a great lot of fun with it, and it's pretty much indestructible like all the Foxes. You know, you would not believe what this thing has been through, and it's still looking pretty good, really. A little bit of, you know, grass and dirt stains, but apart from that, the biggest piece of damage was chipping the wood when it inverted and landed in concrete. But apart from that, you could take this into the sky, turn off the controller, walk away, knowing that this will come down and won't hurt nothing, and it won't hurt itself. So it's a great little plane, little platform. Brilliant. So anyway, we'll take you on to the Mark II. The Mark II, a few upgrades on the Mark II. The main being a clover, one of them. Gives you a much better signal when you're banking and turning. You can come lower down, you get less interference. You've got image all the time. They're great. I mean, a lot's been said about these in the past. Great little things, easy enough to make if you're patient and average at soldering, I suppose. I'm no master at soldering, but like I said, they're not too bad. There's plenty on the internet. RC timer, I believe it is. You can get measurements, sizes, frequencies. You know, the information's out there if you want to make them. Next thing with this plane, as you can see, is the length of the wings. I bought two models and cut the wings down, cut them in half. Cut the ends off, sorry, and then cut these in half and stuck them on, made it longer. Like the other one as well, I've put a carbon rod down through the wings to strengthen them and to hold the two together. Same mechanism on the ailerons and also on the elevator. Again, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. So I've changed this slightly, I've changed the motor mount slightly, I've increased the angle because remember on the last one I put some washers in there. This allows it to fly straighter. I've also done the same mod on the back tail. Next thing with this one, I've changed it around umpteen times, but I realised the most important thing to me really after the flight is to get a good video to post up to, you know, show your friends or whatever you want to do, or to just keep a record of where you've flown. Is these little HD cameras. You might be wondering why it's pink. I've lost one in the past, so this one here I thought I'd paint it pink. If it does fly off the Velcro in a crash, you see it quite nicely against the green or against the bushes or whatever. I've lost one already, I didn't want to lose another one. This one here is a HD camera. The battery on it failed. I think this is an 11 camera and the batteries on them, you could overcharge them apparently. This is probably what's happened with this, and the battery was knackered basically. So what I've done is I've ran a wire from the RC spare channel and I put a diode on it to drop the voltage down by about 0.5. So now I'm getting a 4.5 volt through, and I connect it straight up with this little wire, and then along if I've got power flying, I've got power going to the video. I've used the same camera, the little, I think they're 1 gram or 2 gram more realistically on there, and I'm also powering the RC system, the 5.8 and the camera from the same little battery. Again, a little 1.8, I know, 116 milliamp battery, this one. Similar sort of thing to you put in the Blade MSR helicopters. You can pick them up, I think you can get them for about 5 for a tenner, 20 quid, something like that. Very good, gives you plenty long enough to fly with these little planes. I've had about 12 minutes out of the other model with this, and they work great. They're good for about, I'd say about 15 to 20 minutes if you had to. So that's it really. Another major difference with this on the inside is we've got a better RC transmitter. It's a FreeSky. So it's giving me a longer range. This one here is actually a Futaba compatible, and I've also inside there, I don't know if you can see, but I've got a very small little gyro, piezo gyro. Great little thing, just connected up to the ailerons. The difference this makes is unbelievable. In high winds and stuff, it just stabilizes the whole thing out. It's, you know, with long wings and all, it flies like a much bigger plane, and I've taken this out in some ridiculous wind for the size of it. But it's a great little plane. If I turn on the RC, and we plug this in. You can already hear them twitching. Get the cover on, exactly the same as the last one. I don't know if you can see, but all of a sudden the ailerons are self-leveling when it banks over. Works really well. Like I said, it really does stabilise this little thing out. Done some great videos with this. I'll put a couple of clips on this video so you can see it. I didn't bother, before I forget, to put a servo on the front of this. I didn't feel I was using it enough on the last one really. If I want to see something, I turn around and face it. This one here, really, the size of the plane, you're not up there for hours and hours and at great altitudes. I mean, you can go up there for, you know, I've been up for about 10 minutes with this one with one battery, and I've been to quite a height. But really this one here is for low ground stuff because it's so tough. You can take some gambles, take some risks with this and have a lot of fun. So that's what it is, it's a fun FPV plane. Well, that's pretty much it. Better wrap this up, I guess. Hope you've enjoyed this first video. It's been a little bit weird for me. I'm not too keen on speaking into these, but if it helps somebody and gives them an idea of what to expect if they decide to build one of these, then that's great. Okay then, thanks for watching. See you again.